after marking all the holes from underneath, just got to drill through so I can put the bolts in. Okay, I got all the holes marked and drilled as you seen just a little while ago. Now I'm doing all my countersinks, my countersink fit. According to the directions, it says do it at least an eighth of an inch down. And that's about what I'm going. That way your blade doesn't, or your bit on the CNC doesn't get into it. That'll be it. I got one more hole, probably about right here, but this one was a little close, so I'm not sure that I'm actually gonna put one in there. I'm gonna wait and see right there. I'm gonna wait and see. I was a little bit close to the edge right there. So I'm gonna wait and see if it pulls it down tight. If it doesn't pull it down tight, then I'll get under there and drill a hole and pull it, put a screw in there to hold it down. But I think that'll get it. We've got one right there, there, and there, so it's got one within perimeter, so it should be good. We'll see though. Okay, I'm doing a little splicing here because I realized as I was editing, I didn't explain what happened when I set the machine up. I'd set it up, and they send a little piece of ferrous metal with it that you do the adjustments for your sensors to make sure they're set up in the right place. Well, I was using that. It also gives the directions that you use that to put in close proximity and watch the monitor to make sure that the sensors are sending a signal. And when I went through that, it was sending a signal from everywhere except for the sensor on that side. And so I tried several things, trying to figure out what's wrong with it. I swapped on the back of the control panel. I swapped ports so I could make sure that it wasn't the port. It was not the port. It was actually the sensor. So I contacted the manufacturer, and they immediately sent me a new one. So it took me just a little while to get it. But then I got it and got it all set up, and was able to adjust everything and make sure everything was done correctly. I also realized that when I was doing the editing, I didn't go through setting up the computer and stuff like that. But this is the computer that it comes with. It's a mini computer. So I went and bought a monitor, keyboard, and all that stuff. I went ahead and got another adjustable table to put this on, because I like to be able to roll it around and stuff like that. So, and plus it's got the drawers and stuff like that I'm going to make trays for all my bits. I've got my bits over here. But this is basically the way I got it set up. It's running a cable from here to the computer. So every time I turn it on, I turn everything on from here to be able to use everything. But this is the way I've got it set up for right now, and it's going to work okay for right now. I'll probably eventually build something where I can put everything inside of a cabinet and just lift it up and use it, so that way it doesn't get real dirty. But for right now, I think this is going to suffice. All right. Gotten to the point now where I had to wait several days to get my sensor in to make sure that it would home. And I finally got it to home. I tried to set up my VCarve Pro with this machine. Took a little figuring out. I got the file to input it, but it took a little while. I finally had to call and get somebody from STV to help walk me through it. They walked me through it. It was a little, I probably wouldn't have been able to figure it out on my own, but it wasn't that hard after he showed me what had happened. So I went into VCarve Pro and I used basically the one of the programs to just dish it out, I guess you could call it. So I set that all up and I zeroed the machine, I homed the machine, and I set the zero to the shortest or to the shallowest place that I could find on the tabletop. And then I set the depth at 3/1000ths of an inch to level everything. And it leveled it pretty well. The MDF was not level at all. So it leveled it pretty well. As you can see, there's a few spots right there that it missed, and that was a low spot. So it went right over the top of it, just like it was supposed to. So it's all zeroed out right now. My next step I'm going to do, I got, I think it's 27 or 28 rather, of the T-tracks that I'm going to put in here horizontal, and then fill it in with 4-inch slats of MDF. I'm going to kind of make my spool board similar to the way the Shapeoko was set up. Because I kind of like the way that was set up. So I'm going to set it up similar to that, except for they're not going to be going straight ahead. They're going to be going side to side. So I'm going to line those up here so I have a whole spool board, and that'll leave me a space down here. I don't know if you can see it. Right there on that corner, because that corner right there is where I'm going to work from. That's the way I did in my Shapeoko. That's what I'm going to do it here. That's where the machine homes to. So that's where everything's going to be set up. After I set it up, I'll probably put a couple boards at a 45 right here, just so if I have a full sheet of plywood, I can bump it up against it and be able to level everything out. So right now, what I'm getting ready to do is start laying this stuff out, cutting my MDF and laying it out. And I'll show you some video, or I'll film some of it as I'm going to hopefully help anybody that wants to set it up this way. There was one other guy that did it this way, and I like the way he did it, but he did it on the Avid machine. Of course, mine's a STV, but it's still the same. And if you're curious, this machine cuts a full 4x8 sheet of plywood, but the tabletop is actually 5 foot by 10 foot. So you've got plenty of room on the outside to fasten stuff down, fasteners down, fasten all kinds of things down. Also, along with my T-tracks that came in, my finishing 4-inch pipe or hose that I'm going to put to run to the machine for the vacuum. Not that I'm going to mess with anything unless I do another MDF that is as messy as MDF. This one took care of it pretty well, the dust collection. I did have to follow it with my shop vac or my Oneida Cobra just to clean it up as it was going, so it wouldn't be as messy. And of course, I had my filtration system on, my dust collection system on, had everything on to try to keep the dust down, and it kept it down pretty much. After I was done, I went through and vacuumed everything up. But so far, so good. I'll try to video some as I'm putting this waste board together, or the spoil board together, and show you. Once I get the spoil board on here, knowing that the MDF is not level, I'm gonna run that thing again, just to make sure to get everything level. So if you have any questions, let me know.